Congress is an elite institution. In the early days of our country, our congressmen were wealthy white landowners, and that's the only people who had access to run. And so I do think that while the gates have opened and now everyone has the legal opportunity to run for Congress, there are certainly barriers in place.
Throughout American history, women have been underrepresented in Congress. Women of color, even more so. Right now, they make up only 7% of Congress.
We can't shy away from the fact that we continue to have racism and discrimination in this country that definitely bleeds over to the political realm.
So women of color face specific and different challenges than other groups that are distinct from white women and black men. In particular, women of color usually face challenges raising money. Their networks are typically other women of color who don't earn as much money.
Despite these hurdles, women of color running this year see 2018 as an opportunity to challenge the status quo.
From the very start, I think people doubt your abilities.
We cannot mess up, we cannot make mistakes.
Being a woman of color and running, people find that very exciting and they're energized by that. Does that come with some negativity as well? I do think so.
I don't get the same number of do-overs that my opponents in the primary got. And so what did we do? We were excellent.
And so I think the time is now for women, but also for women of color. How are you? Nice to see you, Deb Holland. I'm running for Congress. Nice to see you all. It's a sad fact that in any picture that you would see of Congress, no Native woman or Native girl has ever seen themselves in that picture. Happy 4th of July. Deb Holland, I'm running for Congress.
Deborah Holland is the Democratic candidate running in New Mexico's 1st congressional district. If she wins, she'll become the first Native American woman to serve in Congress.
Our win is a victory for working people. Like, I'm passionate about the Indian vote. I'm passionate about not just Native Americans, but any underrepresented communities having a voice in our public discourse. Thank you so much.
It's about time. I hope you win.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Here.
Holland is a single mother who has spent nearly 2 decades in state politics working with Native tribes.
The United States has a trust responsibility to Indian tribes, and so often Indian tribes haven't been invited to the table to give their perspective from their community standpoints. So if I can inspire young Native girls to step out and even run for student body president, I think that we have a future with more Native women in it.
Sometimes there's a stereotype that maybe Asian Americans are perceived as foreigners. There might be a perception to some that I'm somewhat less American than someone else, and that's certainly not the case because I'm as American as you can get. As Korean Americans, we all as a community have made incredible contributions to the fabric of this society.
Pearl Kim is the Republican candidate running in Pennsylvania's 5th congressional district. Kim is disturbed by the rhetoric on immigrants coming from her own party.
I've certainly been frustrated with some of the rhetoric towards immigrants because being the daughter of immigrants, my parents and myself have obviously contributed greatly, and I've been able to serve publicly. And so for me, it's very important that we welcome immigrants to our country and that we find means and ways to do that. And I think that's also why people are so excited to see me running. With my story and my background, being the daughter of immigrants and wanting to serve in this type of office.
I get really excited about this moment and the opportunities as a young woman and person of color to hold this role and to advocate and work on and introduce policies that could help our future.
Moines Underwood, a registered nurse, is the Democratic candidate running for Illinois' 14th congressional district. She ran against 6 men in her primary and won.
I think about the opportunities as an African American woman in a space where my district is not a majority minority district. And so what that means is I can both represent my community, fight for a fair farm bill, fight for issues that support families, fight for common sense gun reform, and then also fight for issues that will help people of color all across this community, because candidates of color reflect the communities that we live in.
Really, this political climate has mobilized people, that they are tired of the status quo. They're tired of not being represented. And so they say, I'm going to do it for myself. This hopefully should be a wake-up call to the political parties. First of all, to see women of color as viable candidates, not just a whim, not a fluke, not someone who has an idea that might push the party to the left or the right, but that they actually have views that should be center or mainstream.